Okay, Nick, you're back to talk on IT with me, and I have a question for you. So, I'm going to say I'm a little bit guilty of this, and I know a lot of small businesses are too, is that when we're looking at tech, it all just seems like so overwhelming, and a lot of times you go on and you're like, okay, I want to buy this new piece of software or some cloud thing, and it's like, oh, here's the free option, here's the little bit more
Hmm.
paid option, here's the next paid option. So obviously from a finance and trying to control costs and get the most for our money, a lot of times we want to try the free option. I'm imagining though, because if it's free, like there's something wrong with it. So I was
Yeah.
just curious, you're just trying to make sure that what we don't do is choose something because it's cheap. And then oftentimes like you get bit in the butt later or it wasn't quite what you wanted and now you have to layer on other things. So I'm just wondering if you have any horror stories or warnings or anything around like just going to the cheapest tech.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great way to look at it because IT and technical products can be very sticky. So if you get kind of used to a product or you're locked into a product and then it doesn't end up meeting your needs, it's so much harder to change than to start out on the right path originally. And I think the classic example is like the CRM. HubSpot is like they have a free tier. A lot of people start down that road and end up sticking with HubSpot. And nothing against HubSpot. They're a good product, but I would say like in terms of evaluating how you do this, I like to think of IT as an investment rather than an expense. And
Mm.
if you look at it that way, you start to think about growth without adding further expense. Like that's your investment. Like how can I grow without spending too much more money? And so if you kind of project into the future, you can say, okay, like if I have 1,000 contacts now, maybe I have 1,500 in 2 years. And is that within the cap of this CRM? Like there are certain things that if you project it out that may pertain to that particular software. So it's just a way of thinking about it, and then also like compare products, match their features, let them do the demos, let them tell you about it, pay attention, try and stay awake through a product demo. But it's important, and test.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
I like what you're saying about putting yourself in the future of where we want to grow as a company
Mhm.
and then seeing will this technology meet it because of that stickiness. I do see a lot of people are wishing they would have just paid the money or went with the better system. Yet
Yeah.
in that moment, you're kind of choosing based on price. So I think that's a
Mhm.
really good way to evaluate is where are we growing to, and then
Yeah.
what, like you said, checking out different ones, which one is going to meet our needs now and later.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's something that people are looking to grow into and they see that like free or the lower version can work now and the upgrades will work later, I'm guessing that's better than having them pick something like you were saying, how sticky it is. Like the fact that you can upgrade, I'm sure makes it relatively easy versus switching to a whole nother system. Is that something you kind of look at when you're looking at growth? Because I would think if you're like, oh, I can just do this now and then I switch to another system is a lot harder than be like, let me pick one that lets me grow into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to understand the full feature set of a product, because you may end up needing it, and it may end up costing a little bit more than something else, or something like that. So you really want to know the full feature set and how they break it down in pricing. Like if you're looking for one particular feature, but that's only included in the platinum plan, then it's gonna change, which product you may select. So looking at everything, that a product can do, and sort of what you want, but also what you may need in the future, is definitely huge. And also integrations is another thing to think about.
Yeah.
How is this going to sit within my overall tech stack and operations? And how can I help streamline what I do, within other processes, basically.
That's a great efficiency point too, and something where I think it is a little bit challenging is to see, well, these two softwares or three softwares play well in the sandbox. So if people have
Yeah.
questions and need some help around kind of choosing the right one for them, for their growth plan, for their now, and playing well with their other systems, is that something they can come to you for?
Yeah, absolutely. I deal with this almost every day, helping clients with their technology choices, technical planning for the future and their business. So yeah, it's a sort of a CTO, outsourced CTO role that I can play, definitely.
Awesome. And how would they find you if they say, help me?
Yes, I'm Nick with Held High Tech, and you can reach me at nick@heldhightech.com.
And that's Nick without a K.
Both work, both work.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. See, you're a tech guru. Like, how can I make it always work for me? I love that. Well, thank you again,
Exactly.
Nick. I appreciate it.